All right, so it is the next day when I'm filming this video. It is Sunday. Michigan won on Saturday afternoon, 45-7 over Nebraska. It was never in doubt. It was dominant all the way through. Um, this game was a little more exciting than last year's Nebraska game. The last year's Nebraska game, we destroyed them in that one too, but was a little more boring. Um, I'm not gonna stand here and crap on Nebraska and tell you how terrible Nebraska is. I think people already kind of know that. Um, I do like where Matt Rule is taking this team. I like the direction the program of Nebraska is going, but as of right now, by far and away, not where they need to be. Um, Michigan clearly far and away a better team than Nebraska is, and it will remain that way for a little while. Nebraska will have their chance maybe in the next 2 or 3 years to put up a close game against Michigan, but until then, Michigan's by far and away better. J.J. McCarthy, I think 12 of 16 or 17 passing in this game, 156 yards, two touchdowns through the air, both to Roman Wilson. He also had a 21 yard rush for a touchdown. Very efficient. Roman Wilson is unbelievable. Um, he has 8 touchdowns in this game. He's unbelievable, averaging probably two through the air. Helmet first helmet catch that he like on the that guys great that I've seen in Michigan history. That is highlight if you at now. If you look at highlights from you Roman Wilson's helmet catch. This was allowed to the country as an offense, you know, 40 very efficient. No, which is crazy. A lot of guys got some. Blake have a little bit better of a day, playing great. Better day. This has been impressive. What I've seen from him so back. He got a touch when and we just we only offensively um defense was not let Brian played the other team gets in the red zone. The other team like she is at stopping it. I don't even know how it's been now. 3, 5 times maybe where Michigan has stopped their opponent 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and stopped them on that play to get a turnover. Unbelievable how good this defense. Um, 5-0. Um, this is the team team scored 30 and almost point first game. That's unbelievable. You've scored 30 points or more in every game this season and allowed no more than 7. Um, really, really good. Um, um, we played in this game. It wasn't enough. It's like God, man, Roman Wilson is outshining all of them, and it's not even close. It's not even close. Roman Wilson is a beast. He will be a future NFL player. I can guarantee you that. He is just upped his play. Um, from the time he was a freshman to now, he has played really, really great football. I gotta give him that. Um, and Jay McCarthy, like I said, 2 touchdowns through the air, one on the ground. Just very efficient. Dismantling Nebraska. Defense played great. They had a few sacks in there. They got a pick in there as well, an interception. And yeah, it was 45-0. By the time Nebraska broke off a 74-yard run, team defense for a touchdown run. Um, Seems like Michigan always does that. It did it against Rutgers too. Just the defense allows one big play, that's all it's needed, and the other team gets points. I was hoping for a shutout in this game. I don't. Last time we had a shutout, getting a shutout is very difficult, very difficult. So you're not gonna get it. Vast majority of the time. We got Minnesota next Saturday. Minnesota's not a great team, but it is on the road. Night game. It's for a trophy, a jug, so it'll be a little harder than you think. We should win the game. There's no excuse. We absolutely should win that game and win handedly. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, Michigan looked really good. There's not a whole lot I can say. This is just old school football. Um, Michigan did what they always do. They used their blueprint, and they scored over 40 points. Finally, coming into this game, I don't think Michigan scored more than 35 points all season. We scored 45, so that's good. And what's our kicker's name? Is it like Tyler Morris or something like that, or no, is that a different guy I'm thinking? I can't remember his name now, but he had a field goal. Uh, so I mean, he's still. I'm still not sure about him. He doesn't seem to be as efficient as I'd like him to be. Um, Now it's hard to replace the best kicker in school history and Jake Moody, um, but his play is going to have to get better. I'm still not sure about him. He reminds me more so of Quinn Nordine than he does Jake Moody. Um, and Quinn Nordine was also a very inefficient kicker. He was really good at making 50-plus yard field goals, but then he would completely shank it on a 29 yard. And I'm talking about Quinn Nordine. I'm not saying that this kicker does the same thing, and I still can't remember his name, but he has missed a few kicks in this season. So hopefully his play gets better too, because we never know if we're going to need him for a game-winning field goal or something. And if we do need him for a game-winning field goal, um, I don't know how confident I am in him. So, but yeah, 45-7, Michigan wins it. Michigan is still number one in the country in points allowed. Coming into this game, it was like 5.8 or something like that. I don't know how much it is now, but I can't imagine that it's much more or much less. Probably still best in the country. Um, Michigan looks really good, looks very dangerous, and look better every week, honestly. Last 2 games we've played, we're now 2-0 in the conference with wins over Rutgers and Nebraska. And I mean, against Rutgers we look good, but against Nebraska we look really good. And I know what you're probably thinking, it's Nebraska, but hey, I mean, they poor against Bowling Green. We didn't have a great game against Bowling Green. A lot of turnovers and stuff, and even against teams like East Carolina and UNLV, it really just felt like Michigan was kind of coasting. They weren't really trying that hard, and who could blame them? East Carolina and UNLV really going to get up for something like that. And I figured we'd get better and better as the season went on, and I think that's coming true. If we just continue to get better and better every single week, that'll be great for us because all of our hardest opponents are at the very end of the year, the last three games. Penn State, who won again, they're 5-0, I think, too. They beat Northwestern 41-13. Maryland, who looks really good. They're definitely up there. Big Ten rankings, they're probably the fourth best team, third best team, maybe. I would say fourth best team, honestly, just because the big three are going to take up that top three. I don't know in what order, but Maryland's definitely in it. And then we got Ohio State, of course, at the end of the year. So that's a tough 3 game stretch there at the end of the year in November. And if we just continue to get better and better, I'm going to feel a lot more confident going into those 3 games. I'm glad that they're season and not, you know, in September or October. Not that we wouldn't win if it was in September or October, but I just feel a little bit more confident in our team when it's later in the season because, um, you know, they won so many games and now they have to keep, keep going. Um, and in order to get to the playoffs and get to a Big Ten championship, and they got to beat Ohio State and all that stuff. This was Michigan's 17th straight Big Ten win. Big Ten opponent, 17 straight. Wow, that's good. That's really really good. Um, and those are also um, those 17 wins. There's against Penn State, against Maryland, and 2 against Ohio State. We can make it 3 in a row against those 3 teams this year. Michigan's on a really nice run. So 17 straight, very impressive. We got Minnesota next week on the road, night game environment. So it could be a big game for Minnesota to try and come out and attack us early on, or will it be Michigan going out there and doing what they usually do and dominate? That's the one thing too. Michigan's like a second half team. And I think most people know that. Last year a lot of the time in these games they would struggle in the first half. I guess kind of play down to their opponent's level in the first half, and then the second half go out there and absolutely obliterate the opposing team. Not really in this game. Michigan dominated from the very start. It was 28-0 at halftime, and Nebraska basically had no answer for us. Um, and we still don't even have Mason Graham team right now. He's off of the defensive line, and this defensive line is still dominating even without Mason Graham. Um, if we get him back, which we should in the next game or two, I mean, we might have the best defensive line in the country, honestly. So hopefully he comes back here soon and he can start playing and dominating along with the rest of the defensive line. But yeah, that's my analysis. See ya.